everybody, it's Claire. This is going to be a tutorial on some of these wonderful, beautiful flowers from Johanna Basford's new gorgeous World of Flowers book. Now, I've posted several works in progress on these on our Your Pages, Johanna Basford Your Pages Facebook site in the last few days. And it's gone down a storm. You guys are absolutely loving these. So what I did was, on the work in progress, is I know I gave you a link to a previous tutorial which does help with this, but I thought it's had such a great response that I'd do a tutorial specifically for these kind of crinkled petals. So there's a previous dahlia tutorial which will show you exactly how to do this beautiful deep red dahlia. But I wanted to show you specifically the technique that I've been using to generate these beautiful wrinkled petals. And you'll have seen, if you've seen some of the posts from yesterday, let me just move that out of the way for a second, because this is in fact a gift book for Gail Kemble, one of my really good friends. She's based in America, and we always swap UK and US editions of Johanna's book. So this book is actually going as a gift to Gail Kemble, and I'm doing a page for her before I send it. So let me put Gail's book out of the way safe. And you can see underneath I've just got a little page from Ivy, because what I've referenced yesterday was the tutorial to do these drapes, the red velvet drapes, and the technique that I'm going to show you today is what I applied to the flowers. But strangely enough, believe it or not, you can apply the same technique with the drapes to do the flowers, and I'll show you how. So let me just move my Ivy book out of the way, and you can see underneath that I've got my tutorial book ready. Let me just put Ivy safe. So you can see underneath I've got my tutorial book ready, and what I'm going to do is I've got two palettes out, so I'm going to show you how to do the, we're going to work on this flower here, and I'm going to show you how to do the yellow and pink colour palette, and I'm going to show you how to do the purple palette. So we'll do one petal with each colour, and then hopefully if you've seen the velvet tutorial, you'll get it. You'll get how to apply it to these these beautiful petals. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see better what I'm doing. I'm going to angle my camera slightly as well, just so that you can see a little bit better. There we go. That should be okay. So we're going to be working on this flower here. So let me start with the pink palette, which, believe it or not, is literally 4 colours. So these are Prismacolours. Again, you can use any brand of pencils that you want. I use Prismacolours because they blend particularly well. So going light to dark, I've got lemon yellow, I've got salmon pink, I have true pink, and I have processed red. Now we're going to put the processed red down to one side for a minute, and I'll show you why when we get to the end of this first petal. So if you've seen people do watercolour flowers, or indeed if you've done painted watercolour flowers yourself, you'll know that one of the most popular techniques to do that is to lay down the lighter colour first, and then you build up the dark colour. We're going to do exactly the opposite for this. So in the immortal words of Yoda to Luke Skywalker, you must unlearn what you have learned for this particular tutorial. So let's give it a go. I'm going to start with my darkest pencil therefore, so I'm going to start with pink. And what we're going to do is we're going to just take a few seconds to look at Johanna's beautiful design. So I'm going to start just by working on this petal here. But look, can you see? She's got very fine black lines where she's indicating the creases of the petal are, and that's exactly what we're going to follow. So just like the velvet drape tutorial, we're going to follow those guidelines that Johanna's already laid down. And then very simply, actually I'm going to sharpen my pink pencil up a tiny bit because I want this to be a fairly deep line. So I'm going to, wherever I see a little one of these lines, in quite a firm hand, I'm just going to draw myself a line in pink. Just following the little crease guidelines that she's given us. like that. Take this one a little bit further down. Okay, now I'm pressing quite firmly. And you can just bend them a little bit as well to follow the shape of that curved petal. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pink from about here and I'm just going to scumble in, medium firm, little circles, scumbling, medium firm hand, and then when I get to these lines, I'm going to make it a light touch. So I'm going to scumble, light touch, just so that I've left myself a tiny little blend line outside each one of those creases. Okay, so far so easy. And you can see how this resembles the drapes, because we were following the pattern of the drapes, doing this exact same thing, working from dark to light. Just gently, gently around these crease lines. And then when you get to the bottom, where you're just joining between the crease lines, a little bit firmer. Gently, gently, just giving ourselves a little blend line, okay? So you're just following the pattern. Just follow the pattern. And I'll just do a little firm pressure just on that little bit there. Okay, so far so easy. Then we go to our beautiful salmon pink colour. And I've chosen this over a peach colour because I think this is just a little bit richer. And I know it's a flesh tone, but it does work particularly well for this exercise. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to follow the pattern round. So again, I'm just scumbling in. And I'm going to do this all in medium firm. So just slightly over the blend line that you've left in the pink. Just take it down a little bit further. Just scumble in and around and slightly over that pink that you've already laid down. And you can see how quick it is. And it really does give an effect like watercolour paints. But we're just being clever and trying to get a really easy technique that we can replicate that with our pencils. I'm sorry if the light's a little bit bad on this video today. The sunshine is coming through the window at a bit of an odd angle. I've been trying to set the camera up for quite a while, so I'm hoping this isn't too much in shadow. Okay, so that was all in a medium firm pressure, and I'm just followed that pattern. Now what I'm going to do is, I've just gone over this a tiny, tiny bit. It's my Tombow mono eraser. I'm just going to make sure the tip is clean. Just gone over that edge slightly there. There we go, all gone. So what I'm going to do now is I've still got my salmon pink in my hand. Gently, 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 gently putting in a blend line. Scumble in, follow the pattern. Very light touch, just scumble in a blend line. And then what we'll do is we'll go to our beautiful lemon yellow colour. And I know I haven't used the deepest processed red, but let me come back to that in a second. Okay, lemon yellow. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to work from the bottom up from this, because what I'm going to do up to about here is do firm pressure so that that inside, just literally block colour, firm pressure, just so you've got that beautiful bright lemon yellow colour at the bottom. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be a bit more careful. So I'm going to take the lemon yellow up in between these little crease lines, but because we're blending over the salmon pink, I'm going to be quite gentle. Okay, so I'm just going to medium firm, just take the yellow in between those little crease lines, and you can see how well that works for something that's so simple. It really shows up the creases of those petals, and it makes it look like you could literally feel them in your hands. And it's that easy, I promise you, it's that easy. I don't do anything that is difficult for you guys to replicate. You see how well that works? And you can go back, obviously, and you can play around, and if you wanted to kind of go over a little bit more with your salmon pink and build it up a little bit, by all means do so. But what you're after, in essence, is still being able to see these firm touch, pink crease lines So even when you've kind of blended over them, you can still see that, and they still look like they're the creases in the petals. Now, we're going to quickly go to Process Pink. So I'm going to put my lemon yellow down. Sorry, Process Red. I've got my Process Red and I've got my pink back in my hand. Now, what I'm going to do is sometimes, because this is quite a light shade on the outside, this is a really deep, bright pink colour, this Process Red. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put an outline around the outside, just so that the outline of that petal really, really stands out. And I'm going to press hard because I'm going to be able to blend it in a second. And you'll see it's a subtle difference, but it is a difference. So just press quite hard. And you can see why this technique's quick, because you're not really layering anything. Unless you want to go back and play with how many colours you've got of each. We've done that in, what, 5 minutes? So I'm just going to outline the tip of that petal there, pressing quite firmly in this lovely bright Process Red. And can you see that just gives it a gorgeous kind of glow of an outline? But I want to get rid of this blend line, so just on the very outside of that, in a medium firm pressure, I'm just going to scumble a tiny bit over the edge of that Process Red line, so it's not kind of a really harsh edge. And there we have it. There is one petal painted in, coloured in yellow and pinks. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do exactly the same technique. I'm going to show you how to do that with the purple colours. So I have in my hand, again, these are Prismacolours. And this first one I always find a bit difficult to pronounce, but we'll give it a go. Dioxazine Purple Hue. Again, sorry, this is going dark to light. Then we have Violet. Then we have Parma Violet. I don't like them sweets, I don't know about you. Lilac. And then we have Grey Lavender. And again, we're going to finish with the lovely lemon yellow colour. So we're going to do exactly the same principle, but because we won't do the outline on this one, but because the deepest purple on the outside is so dark anyway, we don't really need to make an outline on that, because you'll see when I put the pigment down on the page that dioxazine purple hue is pretty deep in itself. So let's just see if I can zoom in a tiny bit more. Move this up into the sunshine. Okay. So how about we do this opposing leaf here? Okay. Deepest purple, dioxazine purple hue. Exactly the same principle. Just take a second to look at where Johanna's left these crease lines in the petal. Again, I'm just going to quickly sharpen the tip of that pencil because I want these firm pressure creases. Because as I say, when you blend over them, you still see them because they're in a firm hand underneath. Easy. Okay. Exactly the same principle. I'm just going to scumble in. So where I'm doing the outline of the petal, my scumbling is going to be in quite a firm hand. And then when I come to go around the crease marks of the petal, I'm just going to scumble in quite a light hand because I want that to be the blend line. And you can apply this to any palette you want for flowers. I actually use this exact same technique to do the big poppy. And I posted a palette for the poppy yesterday, so hopefully you'll have seen that. If you haven't, just drop me a line. And don't worry about writing all these colours down because I'll put them on the tutorial description. And I honestly think this World of Flowers book is going to be so popular because I don't think there's all that pages where you've got such big flowers to kind of really practice your technique on. So I'm just following the pattern, gently scumbling around the crease pattern. And the clocks went back here in the UK last night, which means an extra hour of colouring today, which can't be bad. Dogs have already been out for a walk, they're sleeping quite happily. And I'm just going to take this firm pressure up to there. Okay? So we can put that colour down now. Then we're going to go to Violet, which is the next least dark colour. Again, medium firm. Scumble in and around. and follow the pattern and just take it that little bit further up into the flower. And these colours are quite similar, so you may not see a difference very much on the video, but you will when I come to put in the lighter colours. So there's no layering, there's not much blending. You get deep colours and it's rich and it's beautiful and it's quick. And you can do it, I promise. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Parma Violet. Now you'll see the difference a little bit. Medium firm. Follow the pattern. Okay. Lilac. And we're going to go to our least deepest shade of purple, which is the grade lavender. And then we do exactly the same that we did with the lemon yellow. So I'm going to start from this end. So just here, I'm going to put quite a firm hand in, and then I'm just going to gently take little medium firm strips up in between those crease lines, like that. You see? And then if you think that's a little bit bright, I mean the inside of violets are quite light, but if you felt that was a little bit too bright, you can just go back if you wanted to with your grade lavender and just go over that, and hopefully you can see how effective that is, and it's really doable. So again, I hope you enjoy it. Any questions, drop me a line. Enjoy, guys.